One of Wiley Miller's cartoon strips entitled Legal Mugging shows a businessman walking down a sidewalk in the dark, hands up in the air. A sign on the post next to him reads, "Caution, watch for trial attorneys." Jumping out of a narrow alley is a lawyer wearing dark glasses and a knit cap, reaches out and hands him rolled up legal papers. He says, "This is a frivolous lawsuit. You can either spend years and thousands of dollars defending yourself, or we can settle it out of court right now." Over 1 million lawsuits are filed every year in the United States. Law firms hire private investigators to find out who has deep pockets. So by putting the tips in this video into practice in your life, it will help protect you from lawsuits and their ravaging financial damage. It can protect you and your family from mentally deranged clients and people who you may encounter in your line of work, whether you're a police officer, corporate officer, or business professional. Hi, I'm the Business Guy. And if you could please click the like button below for the YouTube algorithm, I'd really appreciate it. You can also text a link of this video to those who need it. And you can also click the subscribe button, so when more videos come out like this, you'll get notified. By the way, if you think any of this is right for you, you can give us a call or order online and use the discount code BG for Business Guy, BG25 for $25 off a company or trust, or BG100 for $100 off an asset protection trust. We have attorneys on staff who can offer attorney-client confidentiality. So back to lawsuits. Think it can't happen to you? Think again. Attorney Jay Minton says the average American suffers 7 lawsuits in his or her lifetime, one of which is a devastating lawsuit. 78% of lawsuit defendants never thought it would happen to them. And as somebody who's been in the asset protection from lawsuit business, setting up asset protection trusts and companies for over 30 years, we get people calling us every day of the week who didn't expect it to happen to them. A car wreck where you are sued for 10 times the amount of your insurance coverage. A long-term marriage rocked by a previously unknown financial affair. In fact, an attorney friend of mine recently found out that his wife had been having an affair going on for over 20 years. A delivery person from Amazon, Grubhub, U.S. Postal Service, UPS slips and falls on your property and sues you for $1 million more than your insurance coverage. Police officers, physicians, FBI agents, politicians, actors, business executives, and members of the military use many of these strategies to safeguard their privacy and protect their families. So what are the different levels of privacy protection? Level 1, here are some moves you can make to make you more private than 97% of the population. First of all, don't give your telephone number to anybody who would share it with anybody else. Your mailing address will not be connected to the address where you live. Someone hunting for you would actually have to hire a private investigator to hunt you down. You will hold your home in a land trust instead of your personal name. In fact, we have set up literally thousands of trusts over the years. You can contact us for more detail. And as we're going through these, naturally, we only do business with people who intend to use our services for legal and ethical purposes. Level 2, you will do the above, plus your utilities will be in company names instead of personal names. We also add our nominee names in the public records to the companies you own, so you own and control the company 100% because you have all the voting rights, but nobody knows you own it but you. You will own your cars in company names. You will use a shredder for all identifiable mail before disposal. Now, this might cost your opponent several thousands of dollars in private investigation work to hunt you down. We set up offshore bank accounts in the name of an offshore LLC. You have a debit card that you can use to buy groceries and other items. This can maximize your privacy. In fact, we are the largest company in the U.S. that offers the setup of offshore companies and offshore bank accounts. Level 3. Now this is getting serious. Again, you hold your house in the name of a land trust. Each car is in an LLC name. Your bank accounts are in company names, not personal names. When you travel, you use an alternate name at hotels. For example, Tom Hanks uses Harry Lauder and Johnny Madrid. Beyonce uses the name Ingrid Jackson. Tom Cruise checks in as Cage Hunt. Level 4. Now we're getting to the level of the Federal Witness Protection Program. You do all of the above. On top of that, you don't even talk to former friends, relatives, including your parents, best friends, siblings, children, if any, anyone from your past. You cancel all of your subscriptions, whether by mail or online. You no longer file taxes in your old name. You never work for another employer again. Okay, maybe if Russia or North Korea put a price on your head, but is this level of privacy really worth it otherwise? So I recommend starting with levels 1 and 2. And for lawsuit protection, nothing, and I mean nothing, I've seen in the 30 years I've been in this business works better for protecting assets from lawsuits than the offshore trusts we have established for our clients. In fact, I have never once seen a case where our clients have lost money in one of our properly structured offshore trusts. And we have formed more of them than anybody in the United States. Call our attorneys and consultants at the number below or fill out a free consultation form at the website below for more details. Next, if you want to take privacy seriously, do not for the rest of your life allow your real name to be tied to your home address. Use companies, use trusts, so you're still legal, but don't ever let someone tie your name to your home address again unless you absolutely have to. For example, for the purpose of getting an offshore bank account set up. In that case, your name remains private for civil matters anyway. There was a recent news report about thieves using the same key that postal workers use to open up the backs of mailboxes at apartment buildings and condos for stealing identities. In fact, private investigators and thieves will borrow mail from your home mailbox, read it, and then return it the next day. In fact, as a registered agent for companies in all 50 states, we offer mail forwarding service in all 50 states and overseas to conceal one's privacy. Speaking of registered, what if you get registered mail? One guy I know of writes the words "not here" in a way that at first glance looks like a signature. Now, what if you have to show ID? Get a passport. Remember, your passport does not have your home address in it. Then if asked, you simply give your private address instead of your home address. Just remember, when throwing mail away, if it can be read, it must be shred. Now here's another trick. Did you know we can set up a company for you in Wyoming without the word corporation, incorporated, or LTD in the name? So if your name is Brandon Hall, we can set up a Wyoming company named, you guessed it, Brandon Hall. Any check that is payable to your name, you simply deposit in your corporate checking account. That company name will be associated with the company's tax ID number and not your social security number. So you can easily cash checks made payable to your own name without the risk of sudden seizure without notice. Your opponent would have to jump through lots of legal hoops and spend lots of money, even if they did find out, which in our case, that rarely occurs. In fact, I heard a funny story about a businessman. I believe his last name was Gruber. In some places, it's illegal to claim that you have a doctorate degree if you really don't. So he legally gets around the law and he simply answers the telephone in his company name. Now his company name is, "This is Dr. Gruber." That's his company name. So instead of saying, "Thank you for calling ABC Company," he answers, "Thank you for calling. This is Dr. Gruber." Not that I recommend that. Now you can get your cell phone number in the name of your company rather than your personal name, and use the phone company's default voicemail that simply gives the phone number rather than recording your voicemail in your own voice or giving your own name. We set up title holding trusts to own cars, or as we said, for even better protection, hold your car in the name of a separate LLC. We set them up in all 50 states and overseas. In fact, we filed literally millions of pages of legal documents to form and maintain corporations, LLCs, and trusts around the world. A private investigator friend of mine could look up anyone's social security number in minutes. He would call a bank and pretend like he was that person. With all of their information at hand, including their social security number, he would proceed to find out their bank balance. That's how holding money offshore in an offshore company name and having a debit card to access funds is a much better way to go about things than having an onshore account at all, unless absolutely necessary with a small amount of money in it. So if you want to increase privacy and protect yourself from lawsuits legally for honest, ethical purposes, give us a call at 954-400-1050 or visit us at assetprotectionplanners.com. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks so much. This is The Business Guy.